Howdy. So I saw The Fighter the other day for the second time, and I really enjoyed it. I'll give it a 9. I definitely think it's one of the year's best. I think it features an incredible ensemble cast. It's about the rise of Irish Mickey Ward, and basically the family strife that surrounds him in that time. So it's a very human story, very crowd-pleasing story. Nominated for many Oscars. It is definitely a highlight of the year. It was directed by David O. Russell, who is a great director. I've never really, gone deep in the David O. Russell film. I think his best film is either, I don't know if it's his first or his second, but Flirting with Disaster. I mean, I think, to me, that's the David O. Russell film. So, and I mean, I guess this is probably technically better just because he's more mature and he's learned so much, and there's a visual flair that is here that I haven't necessarily seen in his other work. Maybe Three Kings can compete, but really I think the star of the show here is all the actors. And I recently voted for the SAG Awards, and I did not vote for The Fighter, and after watching it for a second time, I almost felt that I should have, because really every actor delivers. The actors are Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Melissa Leo. Who else is in there? Though I guess those are the big ones. The dad, the character actor who you've seen, I think he's on Rescue Me. Anyway, he has to play opposite Melissa Leo, who is nominated for an Oscar for her role. And I think he holds his own. I think he's great in this film. Definitely he still kind of plays the character I've seen him play before, but still he just nails it here, and not many people can do it better, I imagine. Christian Bale, one of our great actors working today, if not one of the best, delivers another amazing performance here. He'll probably win an Oscar for it. Again, a fantastic performance. Melissa Leo is the matriarch of the family, holding everything together. She does a fantastic job. Mark Wahlberg, on my first review, I kind of gave him a hard time, but I can see now what he was going for. And he's still very emotionally complex and rich, and I think his performance was layered. It's just that he's outshone by so much more dramatics and theatrics going on around him. Because everyone else has to be, in a way, melodramatic, and he's rather straightforward and calm. Where everyone else around him, who orbits him, is going slightly crazy, where he has to remain the stalwart center. So I definitely appreciated his performance more the second go-around. Obviously, this is any boxing film that creates the illusion of boxing is incredibly well edited. I think the editing here, and I'm not a guy who notices editing, but I really kind of got into it here. Very well cut and put together. Just very well produced. Very well shot. It looked great. I was, life is kind of cliched in a way, but there are some cliches here. There's nothing entirely new here. I guess with the exception of kind of mixing a prison movie with a movie about addiction with you know, a sports movie. Usually with a sports film, it's the central character, it's the sports star who is has got the problems. Here it's everyone around him, it seems. I thought that was interesting, but there's still not much new here, and at times I don't want to say bored, but I was like, okay, okay, I get it, but it's still, it's still a great film. I will give it a 9. It is definitely one of the year's best, and I think it deserves the attention it's getting. I also kind of maybe want to slide down to an 8.5, but now I'm into rounding, so if I give it an 8.5, I've got to round up to a 9, and again, I have no problem with that. But again, the highlight here are the performances. Definitely the performances. All of the acting is great. Christian Bale's amazing. It's just Christian Bale is amazing. So I think it's worth going to just to see him work. I think I mentioned it in my first review, but David O. Russell seemed to have things coming out of the sides of the screen, and I really like that. It really kind of threw me off. And I therefore think that you don't see it all the time because it felt so new and fresh. But fists and things kept on coming from the side of the screen, and I don't know, I really enjoyed that. It's something that caught my attention. One thing I will mention for this review, and you never really know what goes into it, and many factors could be at play, but people did walk out of the film. Had 2 couples walk out of the film. One was probably within the first half hour, and one probably waited maybe an hour and maybe 15 minutes into it and then left. So I don't know what they were thinking, really. I mean, I definitely don't think you should walk out on this film, but I'm just reporting. There were some walkouts. And in the first time I watched it, there was very great crowd involvement. When the fights were going on, people were cheering as if they were actually watching a fight. Not so this time. Everyone was pretty much quiet. I found a lot of humor this time more around. I found myself laughing a lot more than I did the first time. So I enjoyed that. I also really enjoyed, again, I'm not 100% certain on how they did, but at least the transition from film to video. When it is a boxing event that was hosted by HBO, it looks like a boxing event hosted by HBO, meaning that you're watching some old video of it. I really enjoyed that special effect. I just really thought it was a really, really good movie with phenomenal performances throughout, and pretty much by every single actor. And I kind of wish that I had voted for The Fighter for Best Ensemble Cast, and I did not. But I kind of regret that. So, definitely one of the year's best. It will be near my top 10, if not in my top 10. So, a good flick. And if you didn't see it in the theater, too bad, but definitely rent it as soon as possible. You will not be disappointed. So that's The Fighter. It's a 9. Thank you very much.